All right, we're back. It's week 6 of Otter Talk for the Diamond League. I am Traxon. Joining me is none other than the Bully and Marios from VBU Infusion. How the two of you doing this evening?
Pretty good. What about you, man?
Doing well, doing well. I'm excited. We're reaching the back half of the season, 2 weeks left, and we'll see if these teams can kind of pull it out in the end or if hopes and dreams are going to be crushed.
Well, I mean, we've already seen 5 teams
True,
secure
true.
a playoff spot, so it's up to the last three teams to see if they could
Exactly.
sneak in. But
The three team race at the moment, but it's close though. That's the thing, right? One series really separates these, and we'll see some potential opportunity in these last two as
yeah,
we see them kind of go head to head later on.
yeah, it seemed like some of these teams at the bottom actually showed some promise during the season, but then just like faltered and kept
Mm-hmm.
faltering. Um, so you know, I don't know if MSU, Blue ISU, or Activity are going to make a splash in playoffs if they make it in. But they're going to have a tough uphill battle ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. True. With that though, let's take a look at the power rankings for league. So, first team we are going to talk about, it is Lotus, sitting 5-0, undefeated, the only undefeated team in terms of series score, with a 10-2 game score as well. Lotus up at the number 1 spot, and for the most part, everyone has selected Lotus as their number 1 seed. So, Marios, I'm going to let you start this one off. What are your thoughts on Lotus?
They have a really good team synergy. They like to play together a lot. We've also screamed them and found out what can be done to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to leak anything, but
Okay.
yeah, it's as long as you don't play their game and you bring in your own strategies, I think you can beat them at what they're best at. Because they really like to climb up 5-man mid the moment to the 20-minute mark comes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they win the dragon fight and get Baron, and that's how they're able to close out half their games.
Okay.
But if you find an answer to that, I feel like it's very easy to advance and beat them at their own game.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Bully, what are your thoughts on this number 1 seed, Lotus, heading into week 6 here?
I mean, they are so far undefeated in series. They did lose a couple of
Mm-hmm.
games, but I don't think uh, I don't think they're going to falter this week. And even if they falter next week, they would still secure a
Mm-hmm.
first round bye.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, top of the standings, pretty difficult to put them anywhere lower than first as right now, especially what they've shown. But we'll see. Obviously, week 7 will be a very exciting match between Lotus and CB Diamond, but we'll get to that next week. Up next, though, it is CB Diamond coming in with a 4-1 series game score and a 9-2 game score here. It looks like everyone, except for Camcom, has put them in second place in their Diamond power rankings. So, Bullet, we're going to let you start this one off. You have CB Diamond second place. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, I have no reason to put anyone
Mm-hmm.
over them right now. The only team they lost to was Godboy Click, and Godboy Click is 3-2 right now. WLS lost last week to Lotus, I believe, 2-0. So there's no one I could realistically put ahead of CB Diamond. They're still a really good team. I think they just
Mm-hmm.
faltered because they're too cocky going to the game or match, and they just got exposed. I don't think they'll do that ever again. They do have a hard matchup,
They do.
or should be a pretty good matchup today against WLS Scaling Edition, and then they have Lotus next week.
Yeah, so they're definitely not ending their season easy at all. They play, the top 3 teams in this back half of the schedule here. All right, fair enough. And since I believe you've had a chance to play them as well here. What are your thoughts on CB Diamond, Marios?
I think they're easily beatable. When we played them, it was a bit of an off week for us. The scrims weren't going well, and I was still getting to like learn how to communicate with the team because I'm like a new piece to them. They've been playing together for a while, and I'm just trying to mix in. But I feel like now I just put them. I want to be humble, and I want to put them above us until we get another chance to showcase how far we've come
Okay.
because they were able to beat us, but I feel like with how we've been performing lately, we're gonna be able to at least give them a fair challenge if we ever face them again.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. And we'll see what they're able to do in the back half of this season. Some tough games coming up. Up next, though, in the third place seed, it is WLS Scaling Edition coming in with a 3-2 series score and a 7-5 game score. Now, they play, I believe, CB Diamond, and they play MSU week 6 and week 7. Lily, you have them sitting in third place, so walk me through your selection of them here.
So I think they have they're gonna have a difficult ride actually staying here, especially if they lose this week, because VBU and Fusion does
Mhm.
play Godboy Click uh today as well. So if you're correct and CB Diamond end up beating WLS Scaling Edition, then either VBU and Fusion or Godboy Click will end up jumping ahead of them.
Mhm.
Um, I do think WLS is good. CB Diamond is actually without Timeless today, so if they could take a win off of CB Diamond,
Be big.
not even just the series, but just a game, it could basically tell me that they have the ability to beat a good team, even though CB Diamond's gonna be without their best player, in my opinion.
Yeah, and heading into the playoffs, the ability to punch up and take it to these top two teams would be very important as you head into the best of fives later on. And then looking at Marios, your standings, you have them in fifth. So kind of give me the rundown as to why you put them so low, and then you also put Gothboy Click over them. And then we'll get to VBU, your uh, positioning of them a little bit later.
So I haven't played Gothbloid Clique yet. We're gonna play them today, so I'm not sure what to think of them. But from when we played WLS week 1 and like any other time we've screamed them, they didn't seem strong at all. They just like to skirmish a lot and basically like flip and see what they can get out of it. And if they don't get ahead, they're a very weak team in my opinion.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
and they just like can't figure out their roster a bunch of times. I feel like they always have someone that's gonna be gone for the first
Mhm.
game because they just get back too late. So they have the first game they have to always use like a sub or something like that. It puts them at a disadvantage during the first game. There's they still have a decent way of just ending 5-2, especially because they play
Yeah.
VB Infusion and then Acclivity Esports. So if they win today, they can end 5-2, basically secure
Mhm.
third seed or second seed, depending how CB Diamond do. Um, there's one thing that I'll note in a little bit, but I think I think both VBU and Godwood Click has the potential of ending 5-2, depending on who wins today between that matchup.
Yeah, for sure. And, obviously that's the next thing we're going to talk about. It is Gothboy Click coming in with, again, 3-2, 7-5 in the standings. And as we said, all three teams we're going to talk about have locked up playoffs, but there is a lot of potential for them to shift anywhere from third to fifth seed here heading into this week. With that, though, we know that BBU Infusion does play Gothboy Click this week, and they play Acclivity Esports in week 7. So knowing that, well, it does look like you have placed them fourth. You did kind of briefly talk about it, but would you care to elaborate a little bit more as to the positioning of this team heading into week 6?
So VBU actually plays against ISU um, in week 7.
Hmm.
So they do have. I think it's a harder schedule than what Gothwood Click would have because I do think ISU is better than Acclivity, especially when ISU has had so many roster issues and they did look somewhat decent against CB Diamond last week. So VB Infusions definitely has a tougher Week 7 matchup, but they do have what it takes to end 5-2. Is it going to be a solid 5-2? I don't know, but it's definitely in their hands. Both Godboy Click and VBU have the potential of ending this as a third seed, and it would be a very strong third seed, especially how poor the last
Mm-hmm.
playoff team would be doing in regular season.
I was also informed that CBC or Gathboy Click, sorry, GBC, they're actually using 2 subs today, so they're going to be losing 4 bans.
Yeah, that's rough.
Exactly. At least in the first game. I think it's going to be the first game. I think their player will come back, or the players will be able to come back for the second game. But yeah, they have had a problem with that, and I think they try to push it back whenever they can. But I mean, this is going to be rough if they get into playoffs and the first game they're going to be playing against someone like pretty solid that they're not going to have any bans with, and they're going to have to use subs.
Mhm.
So hopefully they get that roster situation sorted out.
Yeah, fair enough. Anything you'd like to add, Marius, to that Goth Boy Click conversation, or are we looking to go next?
We can move on to the next one.
All right, up next, it is VBU Infusion coming in as the 5th seed, 3-2 series score with a 6-6 game score. Marius, you've ranked them number 3, so give me the rundown as to why you feel your team is the top 3 team within the Diamond League.
A lot of the teams we've played are very beatable. We've taken a few games off them, like stream, like during scrims and stuff.
Mhm.
And I feel like we weren't clicking in the start because I was just new to the team, trying to get everyone to work together.
Mhm.
And now that it's clicked, I feel like people are underestimating us, and we're gonna
Okay.
be here. We're gonna be here to show them what we have.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, on the bright side of that, you guys have obviously locked in playoffs, so you do have 2 more weeks for you all to kind of figure out exactly how you want to play, get that synergy together heading into the playoffs. Obviously, you want to win out these last 2 weeks so you're not up against the likes of, Lotus or CB Diamond really early on. But best of luck with your games this evening, and Bully, you have them in 5th place position, so go ahead and talk me through that.
It's literally just flip or flop, but what's gonna happen?
Okay.
Like 3, 4, 5 could easily move a bunch. Think Godboy Click and VP Infusion definitely have an easier route to
Yeah.
be higher than WLS, and WLS could easily, like, there's a situation where they could be dropped to 6, as crazy as that sounds, but I'm waiting to see what happens after that.
Yeah. All right.
Or after this week.
Fair enough. Up next, it is MSU Blue Hop, who are sitting 1-4 with a 3-8 game score. They play ISU Genie Diamond this week, and they play WLS Scaling Edition next week. Bully, what are your thoughts of ISU Genie Diamond, and do you think that they are our 6th team here? Or MSU Blue Hop,
Wait.
my apologies.
Yeah, that's what
sorry.
I was thinking.
I flipped it up because I was looking at that
So here's the
ISU
thing.
matchup.
Right, they play MSU versus ISU today. So whoever wins is gonna get that 6th seed.
Mm-hmm.
In week 7, though, MSU does play against WLS,
Mm-hmm.
and if WLS loses this week, they go to 3-3. MSU wins this week, they go to 2-4. And if MSU beats WLS in week 7, they jump WLS, and there's a good chance that WLS will be literally the 6th spot at the end of the season, and that is unfortunate ending for them. So Blue Hawk still has a shot to at least get a better seed than 6. ISU does have, I think, also like almost an equal opportunity, if not better, than MSU, which is basically just going to be showing up today.
Right, fair enough. In 7th, it is ISU Genie Diamond, 1-4 with a 2-8 game score, fighting for that 6th seed for playoffs. Marius, you ranked them actually in 6th place. So give me the rundown as to ISU Genie Diamond, and do you feel that this is the 6th heading into playoffs?
I think they have a good chance. Like from the match histories that I've been seeing, and like how they've been changing a few things in support and other roles. like seeing what player works.
Mhm.
And I feel like if they find what clicks, they could actually be the 6th seed coming in for playoffs. They just need to figure out what works best for them and find that click.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. And in 8th place with a 0-5 series score, 2-10 game score, still in the fight for playoffs, though. They do need some help if they're going to do it, though. It is Acclivity Esports. Bully, you have them ranked in 8th as well. They are up against Gothboy Click in week 7, and then this week they're up against Lotus. What are your thoughts on this team? Is there a chance that they make playoffs here?
I don't think so. That's 2 hard weeks, and it would need to start now, where they just need to like 2-0,
They need to blow
and
away Lotus, yeah.
they need to beat Lotus, and then they have to win these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't actually matter if it's a 2-0. They just need to win these last 2 weeks, but they have 2 pretty difficult matchups.
They do, yeah.
So I think their chances of doing it is like probably like 5%, maybe less.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. That will conclude Power Rankings. Thank you for Marius coming on from VBU Infusion. I know you have to get ready for your games, so big shout out. Hope you have a good series, and anything you'd like to say to your competitors before you get ready for your game.
Just good luck to everyone playing today. I hope everyone the best. And let's see who brings their A game today.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Best of luck to you, and we're going to throw it over now to matchups that we are going to discuss, and it does look like it's decently one-sided in the first matchup. It is the first seed Lotus up against 8th seed Acclivity Esports in this first matchup that we're going to talk about for the Diamond League predictions. Everyone has selected Lotus. As we talked about just a couple seconds ago, Acclivity Esports, this is a must win for them if they want to make playoffs. But this is a mountain for them to climb right now. Bully, what is your final game score? How?
Actually, wait, no, I think they're actually eliminated.
Oh, they're actually eliminated, you think?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Whoops.
Yes, because so yeah, I just realized that because
Based
they
on
did
points,
lose to
yeah.
ISU and MSU.
Oh, true. That
So
is true.
so the head-to-head is already gone. So
All right, well, maybe
and
they
then
can
MSU.
play spoiler to
Play
Gothboy
spoilers.
Click and potentially Lotus. But yeah, so
I guess the only way is if like MSU and ISU just both like FF
fair.
and like I don't know. But yeah, this is impossible for Acclivity to actually make playoffs. But they can play spoilers and try to get Lotus bumped
True.
down to the 2nd seed or something.
They can, and potentially knock down Gothboy Click in the rankings as well. But with that though, they're up against Lotus this week. What are the odds of Acclivity pulling off this upset? And if they were to do so, how would they try to go about and do it?
I'm gonna give it really low. I'm gonna give them like a probably like a in 10 games. In 15 games, I think Acclivity would win one time, and I think they have what they need to do to try to beat them is that they have to play very proactively. I think they just get outmatched by just straight up skill. But if they play very, I guess, aggressive and become unpredictable and make the plays before Lotus has a chance to react, I think they could catch them off guard and maybe gain a small advantage early in the game and hopefully use that to snowball it. But Lotus has been playing very well. They did underestimate a lot of their opponents, which is why they lost a couple games. So maybe that Acclivity has that in their favor.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see. Find out that game later. And up next, we're talking about VBU Infusion taking on Gothboy Click. Gothboy Click coming in the 4th place seed, VBU in the 5th place seed. Very close in the standings between 3rd and 5th. With that, though, it does look like a lot of casters went with Gothboy Click, including Fury, while Bully, you went with VBU Infusion with the community. So give me your thoughts on this matchup. What is the series
Well,
score?
I saw that.
Oh, true.
I saw that.
Yeah, you had some inside information. Yeah, that's a valid point. That's a lot of bands to lose.
If they had their full roster, like this, that's the problem I have with Gothboy Click is that I don't know who's playing it.
That's
any
true.
week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like last week, I bet against them because they didn't have a couple of their players immediately, but they still won.
Mhm.
So VVU Infusion, I believe, has a better chance than like whoever they played last week. I forget who they did, but they if VBU and Fusion can take advantage for at least this first game, I don't know if their actual starting players are gonna return. But if
Mhm.
VBU and Fusion takes advantage of this first game and wins, it puts Godboy Click at a disadvantage, of course. And so I think VBU and Fusion has what it takes to even compete with the full Godboy roster, let alone just having one ban as against VBU and Fusion and having two pretty low players, ranked players.
Mhm. Yeah, fair enough. That's definitely something that has been difficult, I'm sure, for everyone. Their opponents themselves, the predictions, is the kind of roster instability that we've kind of
Yeah, I
seen
definitely
throughout
swapped that
Gothboy
pick
Click.
out at the very last second.
Yeah, no, understandable. Yeah. Um, yeah, so we'll see VB and Fusion. This is a big game for them. Uh,
It's a game for both.
true.
They both will 100% secure a pretty decent seed
Hmm.
with the win here. They also have the ability to go 5-2 with
Yeah.
secure third seed most likely, and then maybe second seed. Let's see what happens because Godboy Click
Hmm.
did beat CB Diamond. So if they do tie, if Godboy Click goes 5-2 and CB Diamond loses to Lotus,
Hmm.
Godboy Click actually gets the second seed, and CB
Yeah.
Diamond gets third seed.
And that's huge because you want to try to avoid Lotus here, right? Like you want to try to avoid the first and second seed as long as possible. But we'll see where they
Even
see.
CB Diamond is a really good team, but if
Yeah,
they get
of
knocked
course.
down into a third seed,
Yeah,
that's highly
that's
unfortunate
Terry.
for
That's very
yeah.
terrifying. Yeah. So we'll see. Up next, though, it is WLS Scaling Edition taking on CB Diamond. Second and third teams duking it out for that playoff seeding. This one looks like it's pretty heavily favored in for CB Diamond. I know Camcom said earlier in Twitch chat that CB Diamond is overrated, so that's why you'll see Camcom select WLS Scaling Edition. Kind of a hot take on that one. Maybe we hear more about that later. But obviously, you went for CB Diamond in this matchup. Is this a
Yeah,
close game?
and that I think it's closer now. Now that we know that Timeless isn't playing,
True.
always regarded Timeless as like probably their best player,
Hmm.
um, if not the best player in the league. So without Timeless, it does throw the team synergy off a good bit,
Hmm.
and I think they're a lot more vulnerable now. So I would actually say it's gonna be a lot closer game now. I could see WLS taking a game off or two
Okay.
on CB Diamond here.
So if you were to give a percentage win to CB Diamond, what would you kind of give them?
A win percentage to CB Diamond. Uh, they I would still give him like a 50. I would just give him like a 65% chance of winning.
Okay, fair enough.
60
Fair enough.
to 65. Yeah.
All right. And up next, this is a very important matchup for these two teams. It is 6th and 7th seed ISU Genie Diamond taking on MSU Bluha. I don't know how it worked out this way, but I feel almost all of these matchups are very close, except for the Lotus Acclivity Esports matchup. Everyone else pretty much is playing the person above or below them in the bracket. With that, though, it does look like you, Marios, and the community have selected ISU Genie Diamond. The rest of the casters have selected MSU Bluha. Give me the rundown as to why you went with ISU over MSU here.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
You can give your own opinion for a second. I have to
Okay, fair
go
enough.
ahead and take care of something.
I think ISU has been a bit of a work in progress throughout this season. They've had a few rough bumps here and there. I know they made some changes with their roster, and after that, they kind of had the unfortunate series of events taking on CB Diamond and Lotus back to back weeks. They're Lotus week 4 and the CB Diamond week 5. This week, they head into MSU Bluha, who has been struggling. and next week they take on VBU Infusion. They're currently sitting in 7th place, fighting for that 6th place position, but they are playing the 5th and 6th seed currently. If they make it into playoffs, it's all up to them. A lot of people need help here and there from teams winning or teams losing, but this is pretty much up to ISU. If they're able to take down these teams, then they will find themselves in that 6th seed in playoffs. So it's all up to the ISU lineup here. Did I stall enough for you, Bully?
I mean, yeah, and not just that. It's like
Yeah.
if ISU wins and then they win against VP Infusion, there's a chance that they're able to jump VP Infusion if VP Infusion loses the Godboy Click and then ISU in week 7. So there's got still a lot of little flip flop going on here. There's 5 confirmed playoff teams so far. The 6th one is yet to be confirmed, but the seedings are not there yet.
Yeah.
There could be a lot of shuffle, and that's what's going to be pretty interesting to see. See if either Godboy Click or VP Infusion lose these last 2 weeks. See if CB Diamond end up losing. See if WLS lose and MSU Bluehaw wins. So there could be a lot of shuffling in the standings in the last 2 weeks.
It could get wild. We'll see. There's definitely a lot of wiggle room for everyone to be moving around. Up next, though, the last match that we will discuss, it is MSU Bluehaw taking on WLS Scaling Edition. MSU Bluehaw coming in as the 6th seed, taking on number 3 seed. What's up?
Wait.
Oh, I am looking at week 7. Yep.
Yeah.
I jumped ahead.
Yeah.
I got excited.
Yeah.
For next
week.
Excited. Yep, my apologies. ISU Genie Diamond, my apologies. Taking on MSU Bluehaw. 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th, my apologies. I'm struggling today for some reason. But two teams that, again, fighting for their lives right now. And they're headed to this best of 3 in a little bit tonight. And the majority of people. So what do you? I don't know. Give me a rough one.
I mean, it's I think MSU has shown more life than ISU. If we're taking the whole season into account, because ISU had a bunch of roster issues, their bot lane wasn't stable, and it's kept on becoming more and more issues. But now they have a stable bot lane. They, like I said before, they look decent against CB Diamond. They look decent when they had Clutch as their support multiple times. So I think this could be a very good match, and that's why we're streaming it. It's who's ever going to take that last seed in playoffs, but the last seed could become a 5th or 4th seed if they end up winning these last 2 weeks. So they just have to play their cards right.
Which is interesting because we have a few more minutes here to go over this, and we are week 6. We have one more week to discuss this, so we'll do the same thing next week. But we're going to talk about your final standings here, okay? Week 6, Lotus is playing Acclivity, and week 7, they're playing CB Diamond. Knowing this, do they finish first?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that either the one thing that, like I said before, is like the last week 7, might not even matter. Maybe they just don't show their cards.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't play their hardest because they don't need to. They would possibly secure the top, one of the top 2 seeds.
Yeah, I'd say if CB Diamond win tonight in a convincing fashion, then I think Lotus does have to show up week 7 to try to take them down.
Yeah, and remember that does bring to account of Godboy Click if they're able to win against VBU Infusion and they're able to win week 7 and CB Diamond does lose, then Godboy Click will actually jump CB Diamond in the standings because of the head-to-head.
So do you feel that CB Diamond's gonna end in 2nd place, knowing that they play Lotus in week 7 and WLS Scaling Edition tonight?
I mean, possibly. Because I think, like I said, without Timeless, they are a weaker team. I I don't know if Timeless will actually play Week 7, but that does put them in a big hole if they do lose to Lotus. But that'll just make it a strong third seed,
Mhm.
and we'll just have to go from there.
Fair enough. Speaking of third seed, who do you think ends the season? Think it's WS Scaling
And
Edition or Gothboy Click?
I don't think WLS Scale Edition will end third seed. It's gonna either
Okay.
be VB Infusion or Godboy Click. It's gonna be whoever wins today will end
Okay.
between those two teams
So
will
then, do you
end it
think
here.
WLS Scaling Edition drops to fourth or fifth seed then, depending on the outcome of this game today?
So I believe WLS beat Godboy Click, but they lost to VBU Infusion week 1. So if Godboy Click wins today, then WLS and VBU Infusion are gonna be tied,
Mm-hmm.
and VP and Fusion would have the tiebreaker, and then they both have pretty easy week
Mm-hmm.
sevens theoretically.
Okay.
So that would just go to VPU and Fusion. That would be ahead of WLS, and that would mean WLS would drop down to 5th.
All right. All right. Fair enough. So potential for Gothboy Click, VB and Fusion end up in third and fourth. WLS in
I mean,
fifth.
Godboy Click could end up in 2nd
That's true.
too.
Yeah, it could get wild. It could get really wild. Obviously, one series separates the. And who knows? We could see Lotus drop 2 games in a row and 5-2. You know, WLS Scaling Edition could take first. It could get wild. With that though,
AKA,
yeah. With that though,
that'd be interesting.
yeah, that would be interesting. MSU, Bluha, ISU Genie Diamond, Acclivity Esports. Where do you feel that the 3 teams end their seasons?
They will. Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah, all good. So
MS.
MSU Bluha, ISU Genie Diamond, and Acclivity Esports. Where do you feel that these teams kind of end their season with the seeding heading into playoffs? If they make playoffs.
Well, unfortunately, I think Acclivity is going to be in last place. I think MS. I think I would just give it to MSU. That's going to end up higher than ISU G&E.
Mhm.
I actually want to see them win the last 2 weeks and create some chaos.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, well, I believe that's kind of coming to a wrap up for the Diamond League Otter Talk. Anything you'd like to say to these teams heading into week 6?
I would say just play your heart out. Even if you don't make playoffs, it's like just play the last few weeks, try to get better. There's, I guess, no shame in doing poorly. You just look to learn from your mistakes and get 'em next time.
Exactly. You're going to have your ups and your downs individually and as a team. But the most important thing is if you're coming in here and you're trying to win the league,
You
just
have fun.
learn. Well, have fun. Yeah, that's good. But try to learn from every mistake that you make. Obviously, no one's perfect. We're all going to mess up here and there, but do the best you can.
I don't know. I'm the best player
Oh,
in the
okay,
world.
fair. Other than you, of course. But with
Yeah,
that, though,
I'm just better.
fair, understandable. But with that, though, we're going to throw it to a quick break. And when we are back, we'll have some action on Stream 1 and Stream 2 for Week 6 of Diamond League. See you all later.